Stephen, far from comfortable, but the points are on the board. Give us your take on our afternoon in Banff.
Well, it was comfortable in the first half, wasn't it? We were very comfortable. I thought we were excellent in the first half. I thought we were good in the first half. I think we could have gone up another level or two. We moved the ball well and we created chances and I thought we were ruthless like we asked the boys to be. I think we've scored 3 chances out of the 4 that we created in the first half, so I was really happy at half time because this is not an easy place to come, and I thought that they were off it a little bit. I thought they were kind of there for the taking, but we felt that something would give in the second half. But the message from our perspective was to, as a minimum, come away from here with a 3-0 victory and keep a clean sheet, because I don't think Hammies had one save to make in the first half. And they changed the shape and they went 4-4-2 and were very, very direct, and I'm just disappointed with the first goal. But Tom's done really well to win the initial header against a player that's a lot taller than him. He's done the hard part and we've not picked up the second ball, and it's a sloppy goal to lose, which gives them a little bit of hope. But then the second goal is really poor from our perspective, and then hope turns into from their perspective thinking there's the game's there for them, and it was at 3-2. It was quite open, so we tweaked the shape a little bit and just tried to, I guess, weather the storm. Sometimes you've just got to do that when you're away from home, and I thought we did that relatively well. I don't think out with the 2 goals, I don't think they've had many chances. I think we've had a few, or we've certainly had situations where we can capitalise with when we're hitting them on the break, and I don't think the timing of our runs was great. But anyway, we get the 4th goal that we were looking for. Really well worked actually. Tom makes a great run in behind. I think Robbie plays him in and he picks Jordan out, and then effectively the game's dead at that stage. But look, if the objective was to win the game, and we've done that, and we've done something we didn't do here last season and come away from Banff with 3 points, so I'm happy from that perspective. But it doesn't glaze over the fact that there's still things that we need to do better. I think it's something that we've got a couple of weeks where we can look at that at the training park and we can watch the game back. But happy with the win for sure, because that was the objective at the end of the day, was to win today.
A talking point for me in the game was I think a couple of times it's happened this season where teams managed to get a goal back, and then just like that, our leads cut down even further. Tariff comes to mind as well. What do you put that down to? It's just trying to manage the game a wee bit better.
I think it's just lack of concentration, really. It's funny because we talked about that at half time, that we didn't want a repeat of Tariff, and I saw no signs in the first half that was ever going to happen. So maybe whether there's a little bit of complacency there, we knew they would have to do something different because they couldn't have continued the way they were in the first half. And it was important that we just picked up second balls and didn't give them any lifts. And we did the opposite. And the first goal gives them a little lift, but the second goal is criminal from our perspective. But like I said, credit to the boys, because you could have had a situation where you're 3-2 in the game and then it's 3 each, and who knows what happens. But we defended well when we had to. I thought young Jack Walker came on and did really well. Won, I think, every header that was he was asked to do, and throwing his body in front of things. I thought Tom was excellent. I thought Craig McKenzie was excellent. So there's some good performances in there, and yeah, you've got to. You're never going to have the game your way for 90 minutes. It's never going to happen. And I think at times when momentum does shift the opposition, we just need to be able to handle that better. And you look at the team, it's still young. There's a lot of new faces in the team, so it's a learning for us for sure. But the objective, again, I go back to it, was to come down here and win. Brecon have come here and drawn. There's teams that have come here and lost. So to win the game, I'm happy about. But as always, there's things that we can work on and do better.
A positive was young Jack coming on for a debut for Brora. How did you give his performance? Just coming on that game, it was really intense. The kind of atmosphere, and balls were flying all over the park. It was solid.
It was a tough moment to introduce him, because, like you said, the game was frantic and they had all the momentum. If I had the option at that moment in time, I might not necessarily have made the change. We were forced into it, unfortunately, with young Shea's hurt his ankle, which is a shame, because I thought, again, he's playing out of position, but I thought he did really well. He was very dogged in that position, but the injury forced the change, and Jack's been out for a few weeks. He's not played. He's only trained a couple of times this week. So I thought it was a really positive performance, and he gave us exactly what we need and what we expect from him. You know, he's a big, strong boy, strong in the air. He's aggressive, which I like. And you know, we needed that at that point in the game, just to take the sting out of the game, and then let the forward players go and secure the victory, which thankfully they did.
Now, am I right in saying we don't have a game for another 2 weeks until our next league action? Must be crazy to have that 2 week break.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the timing of it all, because obviously we had a kind of a break with the weather last week when the Bucky game was called off. So a little bit stop-start month for us. We don't play now until start of November. I wait for Martin. So yeah, it's not ideal, but you know, it gives us a moment, because we've not had any time really this season. It's been pretty frantic for us. When you look at the Premier Sports Cup, Saturday, Tuesday, and then the first, I think, 6 or 7 games of the league were Saturday, Wednesday. So it has been a lot of games. So it will give us time just to draw breath and look at our performances so far this season, where we are in terms of the league table, which is top, and where we want to be, absolutely no question about that. But it will just give us an opportunity to look at, you know, where we need to go, what we need to do, if we need to make changes, if there's an opportunity to bring any players in. We'll look at it all. But you know, if you'd give me this scenario at the start of the season where we're going to go, you know, we're midway through October and we're top of the league, albeit by goal difference, it's where we want to be. So happy from that perspective, but I know that we can get more out of this group. I genuinely believe that.